If you live in Central Georgia, or if you're thinking about buying or selling here, this update's for you. The numbers from March are in, and I'm breaking them down to help you make smart, informed decisions. We're going to talk about home prices, how long it's taking to sell, what buyers and sellers need to know, and how to move strategically in today's market. And later on, I'm going to break down what's happening in your specific county, because not every area is following the same trend. Some are heating up, others are slowing down. Let's get into it. Let's start with months of supply. This tells us how long it would take to sell all of the homes currently on the market if nothing new was listed. Now in January, we were at 4.8 months. February ticked up to 5.1, and in March, we eased a little bit to 5.0. That keeps us in a balanced market, but it's clear buyers are gaining ground. We're seeing more listings, longer time on the market, and buyers getting bolder with negotiations too. The average home price across South Metro and Central Georgia was $351,000 in March. Now that's a 3% drop from February and about 1.5% lower than March of last year. It's the kind of dip that reflects growing inventory and a more patient buyer pool. But price trends vary. Some counties are spiking and others are slowing down fast. I'll get into all of that in just a little bit. Homes sold for an average of 95% of their original list price in March. That's 0.1% increase from February and about 0.5% higher than this time last year. So while buyers are still negotiating, sellers who price smart are seeing strong offers. If you're overpriced, you're likely facing longer days on market and price drops before you sell. The average time it took to sell a home in March was 66 days. That's a little bit faster than February, but it's still up significantly from 44 days last year. That's about 50% longer year over year. What we're seeing is very clear. Buyers aren't rushing. They're watching inventory build and getting pickier about what they'll pay for. Mortgage rates held fairly steady in March. 30-year fixed loans range from about 6.5% to 6.9%. 15-year fixed stay between 6.1 and 6.3. Everyone's saying that they expect those rates to stick around at least through spring. So if you're waiting for rates to drop, it might be a longer wait than you think. Instead, maybe talk to your lender about options. Rate buydowns, seller-paid closing costs, or other tools to help you manage your monthly payment now. Here are some trends that I'm watching closely. Most buyer activity is in the 250 to 350 range. Small overpricing is stalling showings. Strong offers are going to well-priced, move-in ready homes. Seller concessions are holding around the 2.6 to 2.8 range. Expired listings are climbing in the $300,000 to $500,000 range, and withdrawn listings are up too. Luxury homes over $600,000 are sitting for much longer. The market isn't dead by any means, but it's picky, and strategy matters more than ever. Let's take a look at what's happening in each county, because price trends and buyer behavior vary a lot depending on where you live. We're going to start with Butts County. The average price jumped to $439,000, which is a 56.5% increase from last year. But homes are sitting longer, 69 days on the market, and that's up over 23%. That's a very clear sign that buyers are being more selective at this price point. Overall, sellers have to be patient and priced right from the start. If you're in Butts County, those are the trends to watch. But if you're in Lamar, your experience might look very different. Let's take a look at what's happening over there. In Lamar County, prices rose to $305,000, up 31.5% year over year. Homes are selling faster, only 44 days on the market, which is a strong improvement. This area is seeing healthy demand, especially in the mid-range sweet spot. If you're in Lamar, that's the current picture. Let's jump over to Henry County and see how things are moving there. In Henry County, the average price held at $374,000. That's up 4.5% from last year. Homes are spending about 38 days on the market and inventory is on the rise, so buyers are negotiating more than they were earlier this year. Living in Henry, that's what you can expect right now, but Monroe County is telling a different story. Let's take a look. Over in Monroe County, the average home price came in at $366,000, which is mostly flat compared to last year. What's interesting here is speed. Homes are selling in just 20 days, but buyers are negotiating harder with an average sale-to-list ratio of just 95.5%. In Jasper, we saw a solid rise in pricing, $349,000 on average. That's 16% increase over last year. Homes are moving fairly quickly, only 27 days on the market, and most are closing right around asking price. Jasper's showing strong balance right now. Let's wrap it up with Spalding County. Spalding County's average price dipped to $257,000. That's down 7.5%, but the market here is moving fast. Homes are selling in just 31 days, and many of them are closing over asking price. This is a great area to watch for affordability and strong buyer demand. The real estate market is always shifting, and that's why I do these updates every month. If you're thinking about buying or selling, or if you're just keeping an eye on the market, you don't have to figure it out alone. If you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed to my monthly newsletter. I only send it out once a month, and it's packed with value. You'll get this full market breakdown, buyer and seller Q&As, local events happening around Central Georgia, and even a few things that I'm personally loving or learning that month. No spam, no pressure, just real info that you can actually use, delivered straight to your inbox.